This is Bad Boys Pilipinas. Hello mga kalaro, Chief Bisdak Joel Parcon here once again with another analysis of what the Detroit Pistons can do with their fifth pick in the upcoming 2022 NBA Draft. For this video, I am focusing on Memphis big man Jalen Duren. I'll give a rundown of his strengths, weaknesses, look at his fit with the Pistons, as well as other things that could factor into how much of a priority the Pistons should have to use its pick on him. Also, stay until the end to check out which basketball players from the NBA and the Philippines he is most comparable to. Jalen Duren stands 6 feet 11 inches, weighing 250 pounds, with a 7 foot 5 inch wingspan. By the time the draft comes along, he will only be 19 years old, meaning he's one of the younger prospects in the pool. This 2022, he was named the AAC Freshman of the Year and was also named to the All-Freshman team and the first team All-AAC. Back in 2019, he represented the U.S. in the FIBA Americas Under-16 Championship, where the team won the gold medal. In his only year with the Memphis Tigers, Duren averaged 12 points, 8.1 rebounds, 1.3 assists, almost 1 steal, and 2.1 blocks on 25.3 minutes per game. He shot 59.7% from the field, 62.5% from the line, and did not attempt a single three-point shot. Duren is what one would call the prototypical big man from the age before bigs made it a point to hoist shots from beyond the arc. His main contributions come from being in the slot: rim protection, rebounding, and rim scoring. He's a little modern in the sense that he also had the ability to do some rim running on the break, which is invaluable as a big man. What makes Duren such a good rim protector is the fact that not only is he tall with a wingspan taller than former Piston center Boban Marjanovic, but the kid can jump. This, along with his knack for verticality, good defensive instincts, and strength, makes him a good rim protector, with an opportunity to become elite at that. There are several clips showing how he comes out of nowhere just to help his teammates at the rim. It's this athleticism and frame that also makes him a great rebounder, on top of being an ideal lob target. His strength is definitely an advantage as it allows him to absorb contact on either end of the floor. It's important to note that of his 8.1 rebounds per game, 3 actually come from the offensive end. Needless to say, around the rim, Duren is definitely a good player. And he's no slouch on the perimeter either, as he is quite agile and can keep up with some guards and wing players. On offense, Duren's game is mostly lobs and putbacks, as well as baskets he makes coming off of rim running. All in all, he doesn't really have post moves as of yet. As of yet, that's the operative phrase there. While he does have some soft floaters from around the post, he really just hasn't gotten it all down pat. His value on that end of the court is more because of his potential as a post facilitator. He has a keen eye for cutting teammates that would have made him the perfect mid or high post player on a team running the triangle offense. Duren's most glaring improvement area is his shooting. In an era of basketball when centers are expected to have shooting range beyond the painted area, Duren will need to develop a reliable outside jumper. During his 1 year with the Tigers, he only shot 22 times from the mid-range, making 8 of them. On top of that, he never even attempted a three-point shot. As for the area where he does take his shots, he needs to improve on going up against defenders who are just as big or bigger than he is. As I mentioned in the previous section, Duren's baskets usually come off of lobs, putbacks, or on the break. Basically, he makes opportunistic baskets. When he actually goes up against opposition that is just as big as he is or taller, he has a difficult time getting the shot. His lack of a go-to move around the post doesn't help things much. And while he can see cutting teammates from the post, he isn't that precise with his passes, seldom resulting in turnovers, which is another area he needs to work on. I mean, 2.2 turnovers, that's just too high for someone who is not a primary ball handler. On defense, there is still room to improve his decision making when it comes to helping out. He oftentimes leaves his man to help out only for that man to make a higher percentage shot closer to the basket. He also needs to be more consistent with his effort. He takes some plays off when he really shouldn't. He's already a terrific defender, no doubt about that. He just needs to develop a more consistent motor to get closer to becoming elite. There aren't really too many other factors that I saw except for the Montverde connection that he has with Cade. I don't think that they got to play with each other there, but the shared alma mater will make it easier for them to connect and probably develop chemistry. That's important because, as I said, this team should be built around Cade. Also, Cade seems to like having a lob partner. We saw that when the team acquired Marvin Bagley III from Sacramento. Cade, as well as other players, definitely enjoyed issuing lob passes to MB3. Now, that's a role that Duren can fit right into. Another factor that could come in play is the fact that the Pistons fan base has already sort of seen another player who played almost exactly the same game as Duren in Andre Drummond. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I'll leave that up to you to decide. As I mentioned at the start of these episodes, I do think that the Pistons' positional needs are at the 2 and the 5. Duren fills that need at the slot currently occupied by Beef Stew, Bagley, Kelly Olynyk, and Luka Garza. What he has over those guys is the huge potential to be an elite rim protector. For all his tenacity, Beef Stew just isn't as good on defense as Duren already is. Of course, this means that if we take Duren, there's a possibility that Garza's team option might not get picked up. Optimistically, personally, I hope it means that we trade away Olynyk, who I think just hasn't quite panned out in the short time he's been on the team. As for comparisons, I'll lead with the one I already mentioned, Andre Drummond. Both are more than adequate rim protectors and rebounders, have the ability to rim run, and are effective facilitators from the slot. And if you guys recall, coming off of college, Drummond's motor was also put into question, just the same sort of as Duren. Both also don't have post moves. And as someone who watched a lot of the games Drummond played as a Piston, I have to say that even the way that they move on the court is kind of similar. While watching clips of Duren, it seemed to me as if I was watching those of Andre Drummond. Now, Hoop Intellect, the YouTube channel Hoop Intellect, compares Duren to Robert Williams of the Boston Celtics, while also seeing some shades of Dwight Howard. I see those comparisons. I just think that my Drummond comparison fits the bill just a little bit better. Now, in the Philippine context, it's kind of hard to find a comparison for Duren. The closest I can think of is probably young Rafi Rivas of the Magnolia Chicken Templado Hotshots. Basketball in the Philippines hasn't quite shifted its focus to perimeter shooting in space. I mean, the 2-3 zone is still allowed in the PBA. And an inside presence is still a very important marker for success here. That being said, I don't really see too many defense-oriented Filipino big men with a frame similar to Duren's. What about you, mga kalaro? Can you think of any other Filipino player whose game approximates that of Jalen Duren? Hit me up down in the comments. In terms of priority, I actually have drafting Duren with a 5th pick a little low. It would be the last priority right now, below picking Keegan Murray. With bigs, there's usually a 2 to 3 year wait before they become effective in the NBA game. And with some older, more developed big men floating around in free agency or the trading block, Andre Drummond being one of them, getting one who isn't necessarily a game changer with the fifth pick would kind of be a reach. Maybe if the Pistons acquire a lower pick, maybe somewhere around the 7th to the 10th pick, drafting Duren at that range would be a good get. What do you guys think? Is Duren worth the investment at the 5th pick? Should we pair Cade with a lob partner who has the potential to play elite defense? Are the Pistons ready for Andre Drummond 2.0? Leave a comment down below to let me know what you think. The NBA draft is on June 23, 2022. That's the morning of June 24 here in the Philippines. It will be at the Barclays Center. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Also, consider subscribing to the channel and clicking on the bell icon so that you will get notified every time we have new uploads. This channel has other shows as well, and you might want to check them out. As always, this has been Chief Bisdak Joel Parcon. Until next time, stay safe. Bye.
This is Bad Boys Pilipinas.